So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me. simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
I'm Rob McConnell, and welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Today on the X Zone, the Roswell crash of 1947. In July of 1947, something crashed near the small town of Roswell, New Mexico. That something is believed to have been a flying saucer by millions of UFO enthusiasts around the world, headed by nuclear physicist Stanton Friedman. Now, Friedman has never seen any physical evidence of the alien craft or the remains of its alien occupants, but bases his belief on the stories that he has heard from locals and townspeople alike. According to the United States Air Force and other government agencies, the Roswell incident was not a crashed alien ship. Friedman and his followers insist to this very day that the governments of the world are covering up the fact that the aliens are here, and that the denial of the UFO crash at Roswell, New Mexico is proof of this global government cover-up.
The X Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
I don't know, but if you'd like to know if your wedding day is coming up, in our final hour tonight, we have Psychic Sandra joining us from Premier Psychics. And I'm sure that, Psychic Sandra can tell Marilyn McCoo whether or not she was going to get married. All you've got to do is give us a call at 1-877-528-8255. That's toll free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. At 1-877-528-8255. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and you're listening to the X Zone Radio Show on the Talkstar Radio Network. My guest this hour is a crusader. That's the best way I can best describe her. I've had the pleasure of having her on the show a number of times, and I'm talking about Dr. DANEEN Petersen. And Dr. Petersen is an author who writes and speaks about the coming North American Union. Her articles published on a variety of online news journals and in the X-Chronicles newspaper are heavily researched and referenced with clickable URLs that will take the reader directly to the source material. Her accompanying photos and graphics add to her vivid exposés. At one time, she was a professor at both Temple and Jefferson Universities in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where she taught behavioral science research methodology and statistics. After leaving academia, she created and directed the first Department of Research and Program Evaluation for Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America's National Office in Philadelphia, PA, and what a great organization that is, where she worked with some 512 agencies in all 50 states. Dr. Petersen is currently researching and writing on the issue of the One World Order and the United States government covert and illegal acts to create a North American Union without the constitutionality required consent of Congress, or informing, this is in quotes, we the people. And Dr. Petersen has been invited to talk on many talk radio programs and makes personal appearances to discuss her in-depth research and expose to expose the brazen, surreptitious, and treasonous acts by the U.S. government and to force the U.S. into the North American Union. And Dr. DANEEN Petersen, welcome back to the X-Zone. How are you tonight?
I'm just fine. My goodness, that went on forever. I almost fell asleep.
Why, am I that boring?
No, I've heard it before.
All right, next time I'll say...
Well, thank you for having me on. I like coming on your show.
Well, thank you. The next time I'm just going to say, and here's DANEEN. So, is there a lot going on with the underhanded way that the governments of Mexico, Canada, and the United States are planning to toss us into the North American Union in 2010?
Oh, there sure is. It's ongoing, and that's the irony of it all, is there is a lot going on, and it's just not visible to you and I because of the control of the mainstream media. So it's most unfortunate, because I really believe that if the masses of people knew what was really happening to their country behind their backs, out of sight, behind closed doors, and in secrecy, they would be so outraged that they would just fill the streets with their anger. But that's not going to happen. Well,
let's hope it does. Let's hope you and I and other people out there who are trying to shake the tree and say, hey, wake up, guys, wake up. You've been given sleeping pills. You're lulled into a false sense of security. Look what's going to happen. Maybe we can do this. You and I have to take a commercial break, DANEEN, and we'll be back. Dr. DANEEN Petersen has a great article in the October edition of the X Chronicles, and if you'd like to get your free copy, just send an email to xzone@talkstarradio.com and say, hey, Rob, can you send me a copy of the October issue of the X Chronicles, and I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Dr. DANEEN Petersen's website is www.stopthenorthamericanunion.com, and we'll be back on the other side of this 2-minute break, hopefully to wake you guys up.
It's hard to listen to the news without realizing we're living in volatile, unprecedented times. Yet never has there been such an opportunity to transform the human condition. As old structures fail, where can we find the guidance to co-create a better way? Find Your Path Home is an ever-evolving, leading-edge information, education, and healing resource center designed to support and guide you on your path to unity and enlightenment. Based on sound principles employed by shaman worldwide, we provide techniques that can support you through the current transitions, offering online shamanic classes, international long-distance shamanic healing sessions, complimentary Mission Evolution radio episodes and Stairway to Heaven TV vignettes, seminars, retreats, and much more. All of this can be found on findyourpathhome.com.
Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
All right, I'll take it. 1-877-528-8255 is toll-free. Dr. DANEEN Petersen is our special guest. And she's also the author of a new book out called Treason Abounds. It's a great book, and it answers a couple of questions. For example, did you ever wonder why our borders are not secure? Why eminent dominion is being abused? Why Congress lets the president run wild? While the media spends so much time on celebrities and not real news? Well, if you'd like to get a copy of this book, it's available at, are you ready? Got your pencils and papers? Okay, www.sppmall.com. That's www.sppmall.com. DANEEN, what is going on behind the scenes that our illustrious politicians are scheming against us with?
Well, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to tell you all the component parts, and then, of course, we'll talk about at least one of them. First of all, an article that I just published this week, which is called Using Bilingualism to Subvert America, which is one of the things that's behind the scenes on the invasion of the illegal aliens into our country. There's now talk that, and I've spoken for quite some time about the fact, because that's what I did my main writing in before I switched over to the North American Union, talked about the fact that there's between 30 and 38 million of them in our country today. That's a lot of people.
It certainly is. And it's a big screen.
I wrote this article a while ago, but I've updated it because I've taken a new twist on it. Originally, I ascribed it to language lunacies and that our government was aiding and abetting illegal aliens, which they have provided them with an open border. Mm-hmm. They're not enforcing a Title VIII immigration law, which has been in existence for a couple hundred years. And then I realized, in light of my switch over to the North American Union, that one of the things that was really being done, with the help of the Mexican government, of course, was the fact that they're using bilingualism really to subvert our country, and they're doing it in so many ways that it's just incredible, with executive orders, insane executive orders that say if you receive 1 penny of federal dollars, you have to provide interpreters in all languages and written documents in many languages to the tune of, according to our Office of Budget and Management, the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, 3 or 4 years ago, it was around $47 billion at that point.
Wow.
So it affects our courts, it affects our hospitals, our schools, any place, libraries, any place that receives federal dollars. Mm-hmm. They're under this Clinton Executive Order 13166, where he demanded that or created law at the stroke of the pen to force all institutions that receive federal dollars to do that. So it's not only cost, there's a whole lot more behind that. But what's interesting is at the very beginning of the article, as I talk about all the way back in 1982, there's a newspaper in Mexico City, which I would say for Mexico is on a par with, say, our New York Times. And obviously in Mexico, if you know anything about the country, you know that you don't get things printed in a major newspaper like that without permission of the government.
Wow.
So even though this didn't come from the pen of the government, it received approval from the government or would have never appeared there. And this will give you some idea of how long ago they've planned this, because this is a direct quote. It says, this was published in 1982, and I call it the Mexican Manifesto, the title I gave it. That's not what was in the paper. A peaceful mass of people, this is a quote, a peaceful mass of people, hardworking, carries out slowly and patiently an unstoppable invasion, the most important in human history. You cannot give me a similar example of such a large migratory wave by an ant-like, stubborn, unarmed, and carried on in the face of the most powerful and best-armed nation in the world, America, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But neither barbed wire fences, nor aggressive border guards, nor campaigns, nor laws, nor police raids against the undocumented have stopped this movement of masses that is unprecedented in any part of the world. In 1960, they were called muchachos, half-breeds. Today they are called Chicanos. They have marked social and family characteristics, agility for adapting to the environment, and for conquering a great region, once primitive and virgin, that belonged to our fatherland, and we lost it. But it seems to be slowly returning to the jurisdiction of Mexico without the firing of a single shot, nor requiring the least diplomatic action, by means of a steady, spontaneous, and uninterrupted occupation. Does that tell you exactly what happened to our country over the last 20-some years?
Yes, but it also tells me that the government has been lax in enforcing the laws of the land.
Of course they have, on purpose.
You know, you and I have talked several times. We've talked off air. And what really amazes me is here we have the U.S. government making a big stink over the Mexican border, and how they're doing everything that they can to stop the influx of these people into the United States, when they know darn well in 2.5 years it's all going to be one country anyway.
Well, they're facilitating it becoming one country, which is why they haven't sealed off our borders. They keep promising more people on the border to protect the border. They don't put them there. They promised fences several times. They don't build them. Our Title VIII immigration laws, which are very, very clear about that people who hire an illegal alien in this country are committing a felony, and they're not going after them. So, I mean, they're just doing everything they can to let it happen. They've created a de facto open border. Why? Because they want the North American Union. What better way to get it than create it through the back door?
It's a diversionary tactic.
Yes, it's one of many. And what was interesting was a comment made on September 3rd of this year by the current Mexican president, which is Calderon. He gave a State of the Nation address, and in that address he made this very bold statement: wherever there is a Mexican, that is Mexico.
Yeah.
Now, that's stunning, I know. And he made that. I mean, they can make these statements because they know they have the United States blessings behind it. That's why they can make statements like that. Here's another very interesting part. Again, this is in the article I wrote called Using Bilingualism to Subvert America.
And this is on your website at www.stopthenorthamericanunion.com, am I right?
That's right. It's right up at the top. It's linked to the home page, so that you just have to get to that home page, and then you can click on it.
Excellent.
This is another piece. This was done in 2000. It was in the Mexico newspaper called Siglo. And this is where Vicente Fox is making these comments. He spoke of the deep cultural and linguistic loyalty of Mexicans and other Hispanics who emigrate illegally into the United States. I didn't say illegally, I said that, to the United States. Because of this loyalty, asserted Fox, each Hispanic immigrant and of course I say both legal and illegal because he's talking to both, is an important agglutinative element in the of his brothers in the exterior. Now, what I'm saying is he uses the word agglutinative, and that I said, what does that word mean? What does it mean? I looked it up in the dictionary. It says sticking together or joining together. So I say, what is it he's trying to convey? Did he mean while in America, Mexicans were to continue their allegiance and stay connected to Mexico? Mm-hmm. Or did he mean for them to stick together here in America, balkanizing our cities and towns? Oh, perhaps he meant both. But then his final words give us a clue, because he says this, quote, besides, to continue speaking Spanish in the United States is hacer patria, which means to be patriotic and to do patriotic duties. Get the message? So what they have done is they have planned this invasion, supported this invasion, and they say to the Mexican people coming here, don't speak English, speak Spanish. And they planned it that way, and they're carrying it out, and their president stands openly in public and says these things. What does our State Department do? Anything? No, they've got something like, I don't know, I think it's 47 Mexican consulates in this country. I mean, how more insane can it be?
You know what? When we look at what's going on, you look at the state of the economy in Mexico, you look at the way that they live, the rate of unemployment, their society, and you say, you know what? I say, I don't blame them for wanting to come into the United States. I don't blame the people. I really don't. I blame the government for not trying to develop Mexico as it can be developed. It's got great tourism. Tourism is the number one industry in Mexico. They've got beautiful hotels, they've got beautiful beaches, they've got tourism. But they can also have other industries. And when the people cannot survive in the country that they live in, it's only natural for these people to want to go to a country that at one time welcomed everyone.
Oh, we still welcome everyone. We just asked them to come here legally, which they're not doing.
Yeah.
And they're being supported and facilitated and encouraged by the Mexican government. The fact of the matter is, in our own country of America, we have had hundreds of thousands of Mexicans and other Hispanics go onto our street in protest. Why don't they do that in their own country? Why don't they go down to Mexico and hundreds of thousands of Mexicans go into their streets and complain about the fact that the government does not take care of its people, has restrictive laws against its people, doesn't provide educational opportunities for its people, and yet they can come into our country and loudly proclaim sedition in our streets.
Well, because
they're getting help on both sides of the border, is my point, by the government. No, I don't blame the people either. Yeah. I'd probably pack my bags and go north, too.
Exactly. DANEEN, please stand by. You and I have to take a commercial break. Once again, X-Zone Nation, DANEEN has a great new book out. It's called Treason Abounds. It's available at www.sppmall.com. That's www.sppmall.com. I'll be back on the other side of this news break. Don't go away.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologist,
facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
I'm telling you now, I'm telling you right away, I'll be staying for many a day, I'm in love with you now. I'm telling you now, I'll say what you wanna hear, I'll be telling you for many a year, I'm in love with you now. Do you think I'm fooling when I say I love you? I love you. Maybe you'll believe me when I'm finally through. I'm telling you now. I know it's been said before. Say you love me.
Welcome back to the X Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. Dr. DANEEN Petersen is our special guest. Her website is www.stopthenorthamericanunion.com. DANEEN, I received an email from one of our listeners over the commercial break, and I'd like to read it. Hi, Rob. So long as parents are afraid to be parents, and police are afraid to be police, and the lazy are afraid to work, and the wealthy are afraid to share, we will have these issues. We are greedy, and if we shared alike, many of these issues would go away. If we would instill a proper work ethic and enforce it by watchdogging, unnecessary, and this is in brackets, some need and deserve it, welfare payouts, etc., we will be fearful of one another. Fear breeds hate, and hate is the cancer of the soul that could be the demise of the moral fabric of my country and yours. So there, just had to vent.
You want me to respond to that? Because it's there's a lot of flaws in that argument. That's all I can say. It would take me several pages to write it out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what's happening north of Mexico and in the United States? Plans are still going with the superhighway. The trucker situation, all of a sudden the media has dropped that with the Mexican trucks.
Because it was stopped in the Senate, the truck situation. I want to mention one thing, by the way. Unfortunately, our fppmall.com won't be online until tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So people should know that, so they have to come back tomorrow to take a look and see that. And the title of the book is More Than Treason Abounds. It's Treason Abounds, Government Cabal Plot North American Union, because that's really what they're up to with their treason. But I wanted to mention also about the SPP Mall. I bet people are wondering, SPP, Security Prosperity Partnership, why we selected that as the title for our mall. So it was a little bit of tongue-in-cheek there, because we call it the SPP Mall, but we call it Shop Purchase Protest, because not only will the book be there, but there'll be other things there that have to do with protesting against the North American Union and the Security Prosperity Partnership. So we thought that was good for a good laugh.
I thought that was very witty on your part.
Thank you.
Very witty. By the way, we've been getting a lot of email congratulating you on your wonderful article.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. There are so many things going on in our country that are in violation of our Constitution. It's a shame, because I have made a plea to the constitutional lawyers in this country and constitutional legal foundations to stop this madness, because it can be done in the courts. However, there's also that argument that our courts are just as corrupt as our government is, so I don't know where that would go. But there's strong constitutional grounds to stop all of this infrastructure grabbing that's being done by foreign countries in our tunnels, our bridges, our roads, et cetera. Eventually it'll be hospitals, jails, schools, airports, et cetera, will be on the chopping block as far as being up for sale. Things that were paid for completely by taxpayers in this country are just simply being sold to foreign entities without asking us if that's okay or whatever. And that's part of, again, creating the North American Union, taking away our sovereignty piece by piece. Then, of course, there's the building of the NASCO super corridors. The one that most people know about is the TTC 35. Coming up through Texas, has already started construction. We'll head straight up through the heart of our country, past the Kansas City Smart Port, and right on up into Canada, and then branch out to the east and the west coast of Canada. So that's another ingredient in the whole push to create the North American Union.
And what this is, what I can see happening, DANEEN, is that they're going to be bringing in more exports, and more imports from China and Japan, putting more people out of work in North America.
I will tell you, one of the hardest things that we've had to do to create our SPP Mall is to get products that are all made in America, from coffee cups to T-shirts to canvas bags. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, we really had to scratch and search to get it, because we are guaranteeing that everything, from the stitching to the printing to everything, done in America, the cloth, whatever. And ball caps, that's another thing we're doing. So because we feel so strongly about that very issue, that we're making that part of our mall.
You know, it's amazing. We were driving on the highways over the holiday weekend. We went to see my sister-in-law, and the number of foreign vehicles on the highway. You say, well, there's a job taken away from a Canadian or an American. There's another one. There's another one. It's unreal. And now when we go into stores, we're conscious of where product is made.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're waking people up, DANEEN.
Well, I hope so. You know, it's very interesting that you should mention about foreign vehicles in Canada, because right around the time my husband retired the first time, which was back in 1996, a friend of his asked him, because my husband did a lot of truck driving, to squire a group of people that were part of his company. The home company was from Holland, so they couldn't drive in this country. But it was to take this proprietary equipment, which actually was able to locate problems in underground electrical wiring, and took it into Canada. And he crossed over into Canada. What's after Vancouver, BC? What's the next? We don't call them counties. What do you call them?
Province.
Province. Thank you.
All right, the one after
the next province over
is Alberta.
From Vancouver.
It's Alberta.
Alberta, yes. So he crossed the border from the United States into Alberta, Canada, and at that time, he got a third degree about, why were they coming in the country? Why was this foreign merchandise? Why wasn't a Canadian driver in that truck? I mean, they almost didn't let him get past and into the country. Now, that was back in 1996. I guess it's a little different now, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't heard any horror stories yet, but I'm sure they're out there. I am sure they're out there. It's scary.
Well, I was also stunned when in June, I went up there. I told you I went up there to visit Connie Fogel, because she lives in Vancouver, BC, but she happened to be visiting in Toronto. And so since that's fairly close to where I live, I went up to see her, meet her personally. And when I went over the border, I guess I was, maybe, 50, 60 miles into Canada, and I stopped in a rest area. What was it like going into the United Nations? I mean, I don't think I saw, people of every flavor. I mean, I just looked around and kept saying, is this Canada?
Yes,
is this what it's like everywhere in Canada? Because it's been a while since I was into the interior of Canada.
It is. It is a very, Canada is a multicultural country, and we know it, and we we accept it. You know, it's there are parts of our major metropolises that are certain ethnic groups. And, you know, they're Canadians. They're new Canadians. And they try their best to blend into the Canadian customs. And, you know, the government, like your country, just says, come on in.
I know. They do have pretty much, Canada does have a fairly open immigrant policy. In fact, that's one of the things that they try to scare us with here in the United States was Canada has such an open policy and they're welcoming anybody and everybody, and they're saying, who knows what's coming in? We better watch who comes out of Canada into the United States because they let everybody in.
Yes,
that was the comments that were being made anyway.
Now since the... I'm sorry, go ahead. No.
I wanted to follow up on the Mexican truck invasion.
Yes.
That's what I call it. There was a push by... now I can't think of her name. A woman who was newly named to the head of the Department of Transportation in our country by President Bush. She's a member of the CFR. You already know where her allegiance is. But NAFTA had, in the Fair Trade Agreement called NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, there was a provision in there for the Mexican trucking industry to be able to enter our country. That was kept at bay for quite a few years. Now, that particular part of NAFTA had to dealt with what they called a pilot program for Mexico to be able to bring trucks into our country. And that had a very specific, spelled-out things that had to be done in order for Mexico to be able to drive their trucks in our country. Well, they didn't do those things, and that's why we were able to keep them out of the country. Their trucks don't meet our weight limits. They don't keep DOT logs. They didn't have labs in their country to test their people for drug use. It is a known fact that their maintenance on their trucks is very poor, generally speaking, that there's a lot of drug abuse because they run these people, 100 hours a week driving a truck. Well, that's not permitted in the United States, etc. So what did they do? This person who took over the Department of Transportation
by the way, it's Secretary Mary E. Peters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She did a then run around that pilot program that was spelled out very clearly in NAFTA, and she created this thing called a demonstration project. Okay, now they've been trying to get this done since the first of the year, and of course there's been quite an outcry. The trucking industry went to court to try to get an injunction against it, etc., because it wasn't abiding by NAFTA, where it was all spelled out. But it came down to the crunch. Well, two things happened. Two different amendments to bills cut off the funding to be able to do this. And that was introduced by, I think, Duncan Hunter, and I think Tom Tancredo also introduced one, and they both passed. Then there was this debate that went on in our Senate, which I would say was probably around mid-September of this year. And I wrote a small piece on it called the Dorgan distinction, because it involves Senator Dorgan, and it also involves Senator Cornyn. Cornyn is a senator from Texas, and he has done some other North American Union globalists try to slip bills in through the Congress that had to do with the North American Development Bank, which is secretly giving millions of dollars of our taxpayer money to Mexico for their infrastructure while ours falls apart. But anyway, there was a big kerfuffle on the floor of the Senate, and it was around the trucking decision to bring the truckers into this country. But was interesting, and it was written up by Jerome Corsi, who's very well known for his work in the North American Union. He's considered an expert in that arena. But the interesting part of the article was not the fact that they stopped, that they killed that truck demonstration project. The Senate did. What was said there? This is really what was important about that event, and that was this. This is a quote out of Corsi's article. It says, repeatedly in arguing from the floor of the Senate for his amendment, Cornyn mischaracterized NAFTA as having created a treaty obligation requiring the United States to allow Mexican trucks free access to the U.S. road. Well, not only is he saying it was a treaty obligation, what he was doing was he was escalating NAFTA to treaty status, because then it would come under the domain of the United Nations and the World Court, so that they could overrule our court, our Supreme Court, okay? Well, he got called on it, and he got called on it by Senator Dorgan, and he said that NAFTA was passed in 1993. It was not signed into law, by the way, until January 1st of January 1994. But it was passed as a law and not a treaty. So that was an extremely important point, because the globalists are trying to push NAFTA as if it is a treaty. Well, fact of the matter is, NAFTA is a treaty. If you look up the definition in the dictionary about what is a treaty, it says any agreement signed between two countries or two nations or two sovereign countries in three areas. And one of the three areas is trade. However, so when I say NAFTA is a treaty, it's a treaty by definition. Mm-hmm. However, in our country, what we assigned was a NAFTA law, and it was not a treaty, because in our country, our Constitution says in order for a treaty to be ratified, it must pass by 2/3 majority in our Senate. And that never happened. So it's only a law. It's not a treaty. So that is a very important thing that came out of that trucker debate. And I will say, so now Senator Dorgan is kind of now my hero. One of the other things he said in a press release after this all went down, he said, tonight's commerce, for a change, did not trump safety. And these people are going to come in our country. All of our signage is in English.
Yes.
They don't speak English. They don't read English. I mean, how are they going to navigate? Their trucks are notoriously in poor condition, overloaded. I mean, I think the limit's 80,000 pounds. I'm making some figures up here. 80,000 pounds for American trucks. In Mexico, it's 110,000 pounds. What's it going to do to our roads, our infrastructure?
DANEEN, stand by. You and I have to take a commercial break. Dr. DANEEN Petersen is our special guest. Her website, www.stopthenorthamericanunion.com. And Dr. Petersen has an article in this month's issue of the X-Chronicles newspaper. And if you'd like to get your free copy, just send me an email to xzone@talkstarradio.com. Say, hey, Rob, can I get a copy? And we'll send it to you with our compliments and the compliments of our fine advertisers. I'll be back on the other side of this break with Dr. DANEEN Petersen as we continue talking about stopping the North American Union right here on the Talkstar Radio Network.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Path Home Shamanic Art School has just launched a new online series of classes, Galactic Shamanism, Art of the Ancients, Key to Tomorrow. In these classes, composed and taught by Path Home founder and director Gwilda Wiyaka, you'll learn practical shamanic skills to support your daily life, such as how to build a medicine wheel to access the power of the earth, perform a shamanic journey, create sacred space in which to live and work, empower your life with totem animals, elementals, and fairy folk, and learn the art of accurately reading signs and omens. These tried and true skills are the key to living a powerful, productive life. Visit us at findyourpathhome.com to see the ever-growing collection of classes and leading-edge information to support you during these times of uncertainty and transition. All can be found at findyourpathhome.com.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now to receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
Dr. DANEEN Petersen is our special guest. We're talking about stopping the North American Union. You can visit her online at www.stopthenorthamericanunion.com. And as always, DANEEN, it's great having you on the show tonight. Are there any rallies or any protests planned by any group or organization to see what they can do? Batman, is Dr. Petersen there? I guess we lost Dr. Petersen. Anyway, we've been talking about the North American Union, and if you'd like to find out more information about Dr. DANEEN Petersen, visit her online at www.stopthenorthamericanunion.com. That's www.stopthenorthamericanunion.com. When we come back from the news on the other side of this break, we're going to be joined by Cal Korff. We're going to be discussing Vice President Gore's winning the Nobel Prize. What do you think about that, Exo Nation? Do you think now that he's got the Nobel Peace Prize that he's going to throw his hat into the presidential election? A lot of people are anticipating the former vice president saying, all right, now I'll run. I've got the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm well known. I've proven my point. I've shown that I can lead. I've shown that I'm rational. I want to be the next president of the United States. Do you think that'll happen? Well, Mitch Batros and I will be talking about that in the next hour, and you're welcome to join us at 1-877-528-8255. Now, that's toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii at 1-877-528-8255. And then in our final hour, we're going to be speaking with Psychic Sandra. And we'll be doing mini readings for one and all who give us a call right here at our studios at 1-877-528-8255. And Psychic Sandra is one of the fine psychics that you can have readings done by at Premier Psychics, and their website is www.premierpsychics.com. That's www.premierpsychics.com. Next week, we've got a 2-hour special that we're doing on the homeless. Homeless in the United States and homeless in Canada. And we're also going to be spot checking around the world on the homeless situation. We had Michelle Morovati on the show last night, and the organization called, CauseOneness.com. They are putting together a fundraiser in Los Angeles for the homeless. And I think it's a great idea that we address the situation and that we work together to solve this problem. And apparently, according to what I've been reading today in working on this special for next week, is that there is an alarming rate of children that are homeless now, and the numbers keep on rising, and it's going to be a show you will not want to miss. When we come back from the news at the top of the hour at 6.5 minutes past, I'll be joined by Mitch Batros, and we're going to be talking about global warming. We're going to be talking about Vice President Al Gore winning the Nobel Peace Prize, and we're also going to be talking about an impact of an asteroid. Is it possible? We'll find out on the other side of the news as the X-Zone continues on the Talkstar Radio Network from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away, we'll be back.
If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide.
You have heard of the X-Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X-Zone, Sci-Fi, and Horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.